President Obama says progress is being made in Iraq. That story tops your news in a minute. The Cascadilla Boathouse and Large Pavilion also received some new signs. To see some of the many projects planned for the park, head to twcnews.com. A 16-year-old is dead after police find him stabbed outside a party in Troy Friday night. Time Warner Cable News reporter Emily DeFisciani is following this story and has more for us from Troy. The frigid temperatures are sticking around and a wind chill advisory is in effect for parts of the Hudson Valley.
And that is going to do it for another hour of news here on Time Warner Cable News. I'm John Doherty.
And I'm Alexandra Weishaupt. We'll be back after the break with your top stories and another check of the forecast. Stay with us. Everyone's now being urged to use caution when out on the roads as a flash flood watch remains in effect through Tuesday evening. Now, police say this is one of several large seizures over the last few years, an effort that will continue as they work towards putting an end to the drug trade here locally. I'm here at the edge of Underhill Avenue, which remains completely blocked off as police continue their thorough investigation into what they're calling a suspicious death. Now, officials say a 911 call came in around 7 this morning from a caretaker of an elderly resident here on the street. That caretaker reported suspicious circumstances at one of these homes, which is extremely alarming to her, according to police. Now, officials are asking that anyone who observed any suspicious activity in the South Cherry Street, Underhill Avenue, Beechwood Terrace area anytime last night or early this morning to contact them at 451-4142. Now, a command center is set up here. Police are still continuing to canvass the area and search for any type of evidence. They haven't yet been able to come over and speak with us directly as they still are in the middle of this investigation, but we have been told that this scene here is expected to wrap up sometime later today. That's the latest from Poughkeepsie. Alexandra Weishaupt, YNN.
We're going to participate in a Guinness World Record, absolutely.
We're going to break the record, definitely.
And breaking the record, this ice cream crazed crowd does.
You don't want milkshakes, so you got to do it quick.
5 football fields long and 1 ton of ice cream is what it takes for Boyce's Brothers Dairy to construct the massive sundae. Lining in a row spanning as far as the eye can see, these 1,000 volunteers get to work.
Vanilla with sprinkles and chocolate syrup and whipped cream.
With scoopers in hand, they take to the treat.
Just a sprinkle of sugar.
To scoop, top, and serve the creation big enough to feed 7,000 hungry people anxiously awaiting to dig in. And in just under 10 minutes' time, the 1,270-foot record is quickly replaced with the new 1,606-foot-long sundae.
This is awesome. I don't really like ice cream, but I'll force it down.
While it's all good and fun, organizers say they expect to raise $20,000 at the day's events. That money will go towards a new educational and events program for 4th graders in the Kingston area.
We're breaking a world record, and then it's just this is the special part.
A win-win for the city and ice cream lovers alike.
I think it's fantastic. It's a great thing for Kingston. Absolutely. Boyce Brothers is the best.
In Kingston, Alexandra Weishaupt, Time Warner Cable News. Lauren Watts leaves county court with a new sense of self Thursday morning after her former boyfriend, 27-year-old Jorge Marrero, is sentenced to 18 years behind bars.
Going from hospital to hospital and not knowing whether I was going to live or die and just fighting the whole way through it.
For 3.5 years, 25-year-old Watts has been in a cycle of violence at Marrero's hands, and it was just 10 months ago that she fell victim for the final time.
This was a very intentional act. He had her repeat a prayer that is a part of a very well-known movie, and it was after she repeated the prayer for probably the 10th or 15th time that he then shot her in the face. Stemming from the popular movie The Boondock Saints, Marrero played out the leading role, shooting Watts and dropping her off alone at the hospital with serious facial and head injuries. She was blind, she couldn't walk, she couldn't help herself to make food. She was very reluctant to tell us what actually happened. When we first met her, she was still telling us it was an accident. It's a lengthy recovery process for Watts, but she's making incredible strides as she regains her vision, overcomes abuse, and takes a fresh start at life with the help of family, friends, and officials.
You don't shoot someone that you love. She's been so strong through all of this, and, she's taught us that, not to look back, let's go forward.
And that's exactly what Watts plans on doing, as she now aims to help other victims of domestic violence in the hopes that they too can break the cycle.
I'm not letting this stop me.
In Kingston, Alexandra Weishaupt, YNN.